Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Mayorga, and I am back for the second part or these sections that I said I would be doing when someone loses their livelihood, which is for me the job. And I already did a video on how I was going to go through the different stages for anybody who's interested. This is mainly information for the audience, and but it's a little difficult for me because as I go through it I relive it, but I think it's important that we do talk about these things that happen in our lives, and it's important also to get support. Many times someone loses their job, and you may have people around you who will listen to you for maybe a week or two and then say, get it together. Hey, go out there and look. There'll be another job. Hey, it's okay. Enjoy this time off. And they don't really understand the emotions that a person could be going through. It's one thing for you to decide that you're going to leave your job and that you're going to go on to something else. A lot of times people have decided that they're going to lose their job or leave their job, I should say, to go travel. They've got money saved up, or they have found something else that is more interesting or along the lines of things that they want to do. So anyway, one of the first things that I would like to talk about when we do lose our employment is our loss of identity. And a lot of people think, oh no, well, if you've got it together, you're going to know who you are and you're going to feel great. But that's not true, especially if you've invested quite a bit in that particular career. And that is something that you see yourself doing for a long period of time. Although I may be old school. And so I grew up at a time when you were at a job for a long period of time and you retired and it was all good and they gave you a watch and blah, blah, blah. Nowadays, people don't stay at their jobs for very long. But again, if you're deciding to leave after 5 years because you're looking for something better, that's different. But I think in the employment situation in the United States right now, and I don't know about all over the world, I haven't done that kind of research, you don't, it's difficult sometimes to stay at a job for a long period of time. They downsize, they reorganize, so a lot of people may lose their jobs, and you float. You're wondering what you're going to do, and so that's part of losing that identity. As I've said before, I worked as a surgical nurse. I am a nurse. I'm still licensed. And when after being at a particular job for 14 years and making the decision to leave, I wasn't let go. I decided to leave because I was burned out. I lost my identity because I was the nurse. Same thing here as a counselor, educator, and as a therapist. That's what I've been doing for 20 years as a counselor educator. So I'm kind of floating around right now, and that's a little difficult. And I think another thing that we also need to recognize is, are we going to adapt? How are we going to adapt? And I think that happens across the board. If you're older, the way I'm older, and it does lead into retirement, how am I going to adapt? How is the person going to adapt? My husband decided to retire. He made a choice. He was ready, and yet it was difficult for him to adapt for that first year. It was a difficult situation. So we lose our identity. And a lot of people, again, this is something that I've seen in working with clients and people. We lose our identity. It's difficult to adapt after you've been used to working all the time. And lack of support. People do not know how to give you the support that's needed. They want you to get it together and go look for another job, or just accept the situation and quit talking about it, or they don't even ask. They may see you and they'll not even ask, how are things going, what's going on, and so that makes it a little bit of difficulty. And your self-confidence, your self-worth, those are all things that are wrapped up together. So these are some of the things that I think it's important that we need to think about. There's a certain emptiness also. And of course, emotions are very high. There's like a yo-yo. You feel pretty good at one day, and the next day you're depressed, or you're having some anxiety about what are you going to do next. You're not quite sure if you're going to make it again. One of the things that I've experienced is it's ageism. Nobody really wants to hire someone that is the age that I am, that I've already given 20 years to my profession. They're going to hire somebody that's right out of school, that maybe can grow with the program, and things like that. These are things that we need to think about when we have someone that we know, someone that we're close to, family member, a friend, or that has lost their primary career, and they're kind of floating. That's how I call it. I'm just floating through the days, wondering what's around the corner. Now, this is personally for me. I know some things around the corner. I just don't know when it's going to get here. And so that makes it difficult, especially because I'm the kind of person that likes to look at a situation and fix it, make it better, find a solution. And so I just wanted to give you a little snippet of this first area of the fact that we do tend to have a loss of identity, maybe not a supportive system, a good supportive system where people will take the time out to pick up the phone and call and say, how are you doing? I know that this has happened. Let me take you for a cup of coffee, or something along those lines. Another thing is, of course, adapting to the situation and making a plan of action about what you're going to do next. One thing I do want to say about a plan of action, though, is not to jump right in. One of the things that I did right after I heard that this was going on, I began to think about where could I go. I'm put out a lot of applications, but I think it's important to take time to take a breath and to think about what your next step is in this situation. There's a lot of isolation, and there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of sadness, and you become repetitive. We can become repetitive about what's going on in our lives, and that becomes burdensome to others. And you certainly don't want to think of yourself as a burden to others. But those are this in this little section right here. I just wanted to talk about that. In my next section, I'm going to talk about the stages of grief, because there are stages of grief, and we'll talk about those. And I will see you when I put up the next video. Thank you.